this is my song after I die. I lose my voice. They're all like in a box. The Oompa are in a box around me, and they go, Oompa Loompa Doopity-dee. I got another story, or I've got another puzzle for you. Oompa Loompa Doopity-dee. If you're wise, you'll listen to me. And I break through them and go, who do you blame when your kid is a brat? Pampered and spoiled like a Siamese cat. Blaming a kid is a lie and a shame. And then they go, you know exactly who's to blame, the mother and the father. Oompa Loompa Doopity-dee. And then they all like take me back, and they like walk me back, and then I'm dead. And I come back on for a couple more minutes to the end, and then I have a microphone on, I sing a super high note, and like, wah! And then no one else sings that part except me and like two other girls. And the attention's not supposed to be on me, it's supposed to be on Charlie, but I kind of steal the show. Because I'm just that cool. But seriously, like, my whole character, like, if you're supposed to be looking at one thing, like, I'm always in the corner, like, everyone's going to be looking at me the whole time, because I'm supposed to be distracting, but, like, I'm overly distracting, that's what I want, so everyone's going to be looking at me the whole time. And there's this cool part where, in the chocolate factory, there's a room with lickable walls, and, like, if this is the front of the stage and you're the audience, and, he says, here are the lickable walls, but they're going to be imaginary, of course. So he's like, go ahead and try it. So we all go. And we all start licking it, and then I get on the ground, I'm just like, he goes, he's like, and here's wankers. I was like, who has ever heard of, or like, oh yeah, he's like, here are the snozberries. Like, snozberries? Who's ever heard of snozberries? And I start licking it, and he goes, Veruca. And then he talks to me with my tongue out, and then it's just fun. And then when we're in the boat, I get to flirt with Willie Wonka. I go, excuse me, Mr. Wonka. I really like your hat. It really sets off your eyes. And then I was like, you know, to make it even better, maybe you could get me a pink candy boat and get one of those little Oompa Loompas to drive it for me. And then Mr. Salt goes, yes, checkbook's ready. And then Mr. Wonka goes, yeah, he's like, and here, because he's a nut seller, like he's obsessed with nuts, that's what he does. Like this whole time in the show, he tries to steal my spotlight, but like I'm always in the spotlight, so he's always jealous. So he's like, Mr. Wonka, and he's like, here's my nuts, you might need them one day. It's supposed to be perverted, and everyone's supposed to laugh. And then he's like, a bad parent says what? And then he's like, what? And he goes, a bad parent says what? And we're all like, what? I don't know, it's just really funny. I'm so excited, like really excited. Like, all the characters are supposed to be even, but it's basically like, me and Charlie have a spotlight. Even though I'm like second to last to die, I still like kind of steal the show in the first half and most of the second half until I come back out. And I'm going to be like bedazzled up in like high heels and a homecoming dress that's pink and a fur coat and a tiara, and my hair's going to be all curled. And then Charlie's going to be like this poor ass kid with holes in his clothes. I mean, everyone's going to be looking at me. Like, I'm going to be blinding them with the audience. Like, I'm going to be like bling, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the first part where you see me, I'm going to be in like my schoolgirl clothes probably, because like I'm a spoiled little brat. And like Tyler Blackford, who's Mr. Salt, has like a big giant Bluetooth. He's like always supposed to be on his phone during the show, and then I'm always like supposed to be by his side, holding him like dearly like my daddy, and he's always just like, yes honey, give me what you want. So basically it's just like my life. So it's perfect for me, because I mean, you know. So my first scene when I come out, where they interview like each kid that gets a golden ticket. Phineas Trout, the interviewer, goes and travels around the world. So he goes to Hollywood, California, and meets me, Veruca Salt. He goes, now we're off to Hollywood, California to meet Miss Veronica Salt. And I go, it's Veruca, you imbecile! He goes, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so Veruca, how did you find your golden ticket? And then Mr. Salt keeps cutting in and is like, well, you know, I'm in the nut business. And I was like, Daddy, this is about me, not your stupid macadamias. He goes, right. And then Phineas Trout says, the ticket, Veruca. And then he goes, Veronica. I said, it's Veruca! And he's like, oh,
She
sorry.
stole it or bought it?
Huh?
She stole it?
What?
How'd she get
No, they all find it.
Oh.
But the point, like, I'm getting mad because he keeps messing up my name. So at the end, he's like, okay, thank you, Veronica. And I go, like, we're walking off because, like, Tyler, Mr. Salt, is, like, trying to steal my spotlight and talk about his nuts and, like, trying to broadcast his nuts to the world. Yeah, it's supposed to be perverted. And I'm always just like, Daddy, stop, this is about me. And he said, Veruca, like, what did you do to get your golden ticket? Like, trying to see, like, if I did labor or anything. And I was like, Veruca doesn't do manual labor. I've got people for that. And then, basically, at the end, he's like, thank you, Veronica. Veruca. I'm like walking off, and when he says that, I go, it's Veruca! And I try to find him, and then Tyler throws me to his shoulder, and he like carries me out while I'm kicking. It's really cool. I'm so excited. And then at the end, I get on his shoulders, and I'm like taller than everybody. It's awesome. I'm so excited. Yeah. My advice that Phil gave me, which he has no place in this show besides how people sing, is like don't scream as much because 1, it hurts your vocal cords. 2, you're gonna hurt the microphones. 3, it gets annoying. I'm like, okay, so how do you want me to be a brat? He's like, be pouty. So like, when he says like it's Veronica, I'm like, it's Veruca! Like that's not cute. I gotta be like, I mean, no, I can't scream because like I'll hurt people's ears, probably mics, but like I'm not gonna be like, it's Veruca, you imbecile! I'll be like, it's Veruca, you imbecile! Like I gotta like, I don't know.